Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is your tropical update for August 22nd. We're currently watching Tropical Storm Franklin and Harold, as well as Invest 92L, the Remnants of Emily, and our last update on Gert. So let's take a look at what this is. This is not potential Tropical Cyclone 9. That's, for some reason, the only one I did not update. That's Harold. It's now inland over southern Texas. We're also watching Tropical Storm Franklin, located here south of Hispaniola. Landfall, I think, in the next couple of days. Here are the remnants of Gert. Here are the remnants of Emily, which may redevelop. Emily's actually beneath these clouds here, so these clouds have nothing to do with Emily. I'll return to that when we get there. And here's Invest 92L while we're at it. Here is the impact map that we're looking at today. We see I didn't update the position of either of our tropical storms, but I updated the X's this time. You see significant impacts likely here over Hispaniola, or I guess I should say moderate to slight impacts over Hispaniola. The system is generally going to move this way, up, out, and then back in, and then kind of back out. So you'll see in the NHC cone, it makes us turn towards the U.S. Don't worry about that. It should move back out. And currently, Harold is already inland right here over southern Texas, and it'll continue to move generally that direction before dissipating. The other two systems will remain out to sea. Here are the European ensemble models. You can see Harold, Franklin, here, this big one. Again, Hispaniola, Turks and Caicos, maybe in parts of the Bahamas, definitely Bermuda now. That is something we need to watch. Here is Emily, or what could reform from Emily. Here is 92L right here. Here's Gert down here. And right here is another system the National Hurricane Center has not yet mentioned, but they likely will here soon. Essentially what's going to happen, or what could happen, is that a whole bunch of moisture down here is going to be pulled in the direction of Franklin. So as Franklin moves north, this moisture will move north over into this section of the Caribbean Sea in the Western Caribbean. And then as as Franklin moves this way, and I guess as Harold clears out, we will have some activity also possible on the other side of the Yucatan Peninsula. And so in general, the moisture will be there. The water temperatures are favorable for potential development in near the Yucatan Peninsula here within the next, let's say, 5 to 7 days or so. Here's Tropical Storm Franklin right now. Its center is a little hard to tell exactly where it is at the moment, and that's because it's really not a well-organized system, to be honest. The center is likely somewhere down in here, I think. But like I mentioned, Harold did it again. Franklin going to be moving towards the Dominican Republic and Haiti, where tropical storm warnings are in effect, up to the side of the Turks and Caicos, out to sea like it's going to hit nothing, then back up and towards what would appear to be the northeastern United States, which would be somewhere up here. Bermuda is located right here. And so what will likely happen is it does something more like that. That's a little sneak peek at what we could see at the more further range. We're looking at flooding isolated to 15 inches here in Hispaniola, especially over those mountainous areas. Storm surge 1 to 3 feet near those coastal areas in the Dominican Republic there. Winds up to 65 miles an hour possible. It's also worth noting, like I've said several times, it's going to increase in strength maybe a little bit. Again, the organization isn't great. That's why it's not going to increase a lot. Here within a day or so, it'll make landfall, decrease in strength over those mountains, and then increase in strength. Conditions very favorable on the other side of Hispaniola, where it should increase in strength. And then, like I mentioned, it'll kind of go around Bermuda. It won't quite hit it. It won't head towards the United States, but it also won't go out to sea this way. So that's kind of what we're dealing with at the moment. Here's Harold. It looks pretty good, honestly. It kind of has a little frontal nature thing going on here, but the center of the system located inland over Texas at this point, and that's about it. There have been several tornado warnings already. 2% chance of tornado risk from the Storm Prediction Center. I'll show that here in a second. Also worth noting, there may have been some storm surge flooding isolated 10 inches in Mexico, in the nearby areas of Mexico here. A little less here over South Texas if they've already received rain for several hours at this point now. As you can see there is the Storm Prediction Center tornado probabilities. Here's Invest 92L looking very ragged today, as it kind of did yesterday too. We still have a little rotation, but the convection with this really doesn't seem to be associating with the rest of the system. As a result, the National Hurricane Center has dropped those probabilities significantly. They're down to 40% now, 10% within the next 48 hours, 40% within the next 7 days. Here's a zoomed out view, but kind of zoomed in. Again, Gert, 92L, and Emily is up here somewhere. If for a second I show you what's going on here, you see all these clouds moving this way. But Emily, if you look close, kind of behind this, you can see a little bit of swirl happening on this side, and some clouds below these greens and yellows and reds. Some cirrus, or not quite cirrus, anyway, some clouds that swirl that way, and that's what's associated with Emily down there. National Hurricane Center is saying a 30% chance of reformation here within the next 7 days. Nothing in the immediate future. Our last update on Gert here real quickly. You can see some convection located here, and the center is actually located out here. Very ragged, devoid of convection, hence a post-tropical cyclone. A little bit of tropical storm force winds possible, but that's it on Gert. That's it for now. Chris Dixon, Info Weather Media.